Hello, sports fans. Welcome back to a very special edition of Sports on the Spot. My name is Willie Charger, also known as the Professor, and I'll be joined today with Nick James. Together, we're going to spend the time talking about the big Super Bowl that's going to be happening this Sunday in Tampa Bay. Nick, are you excited about the big game?
I'm pretty excited, Willie, but not as excited as you. I see you're wearing a Super Bowl hat there. What do we got? Is that the Chargers Niners hat?
You got it, Nick. I figured that this was Super Bowl week. I had to wear some cap that had something to do with the Super Bowl. I searched through my closet and I couldn't find anything with the Chargers and Super Bowl except for this cap. The only appearance that the Chargers have ever been in, 1995, Super Bowl 29, I believe it was. Unfortunately, they lost to Steve Young and the 49ers in what was a pretty lopsided game. But the one and only time, and I've got this cap that's a memory of that. It's funny, at the time I thought it was the first of many Super Bowls to come. How wrong was I?
We got close a few times, man, but I'm glad you're in the spirit. A
Well,
long
let's
time
get
ago.
let's get down to the nuts and bolts of things and spend some time talking about the big game this weekend between Tampa Bay, the NFC Conference champion, and the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl champion, of course, the winners of the AFC. A lot of the media is billing this as the battle of the ages in more ways than one. Of course, Tom Brady, 43 years old, Tampa Bay quarterback, going up against the youngster Patrick Mahomes, a mere 25. Um, is experience going to be a factor in this game for Tampa Bay, Nick?
Yeah, considering he's got like 20 years experience just in the league on him, I think that's going to be huge. He's not going to be as overwhelmed by Super Bowl week. Granted, the Chiefs were in it last year. Tom Brady's not as phased. He's super ready for this. And I think just knowing how to manage the big plays. I mean, the Chiefs are used to getting these big leads and just blowing teams out. And I think this is going to be probably the hardest game of Pat Mahomes' career. If he doesn't win this game, then there's debate that if he could ever be the GOAT, if he doesn't beat the GOAT at least in one Super Bowl, that's an exclusive club of people who have beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. So I think experience is going to come into a huge play here.
The argument there is that if you want to eventually be known as the best, somewhere along the line you would have to have beaten the best. And that's why some people are saying that for Mahomes, this is one of the most important games of his entire career. It's kind of funny to say that when he's only 25 years old and he's maybe got another 10 or 15 years ahead of him. On the other side, Brady's already, I think, established himself as the greatest of all time. This is another Super Bowl for him, I think, is icing on the cake. So we'll see what happens as far as the quarterbacks are concerned. What about tight end? We got here Travis Kelce. He's got 3 touchdown passes in the postseason, nearly 240 yards in the air catching the ball. And the opponent, of course, Brady's favorite, Gronkowski, uh, the Gronk as they call him. Who has the edge on the tight end matchup?
Well, Kelsey's going to get the targets. He's going to get the yards, and he's going to be a handful all day. But Gronk doesn't need that. Gronk's been there, done that. Gronk's going to get that one key play, maybe 2 late in the game, just a seam up the middle or that end zone, go ahead touchdown pass. And that's what he's there for. Like that trust is, almost a decade old. So really it's, Kelsey's going to look a lot flashier on the stat sheet, but Gronk's going to be there when it counts. So it's not his first rodeo either.
This year, when you compare the 2 tight ends, clearly Kelsey's had a much more productive year than Gronk has. On the other hand, I don't know if the Chiefs are going to have enough to stop a team that won 7 in a row, and last loss I think was way back in November against Kansas City. So
Yeah.
the Bucks right now are on a roll. So it's going to be, I think, tough for the Chiefs. Injury-wise, can you give us an update on what's going on with the 2 teams, Nick?
Well, I know that the Bucks defense is pretty banged up, But what was really alarming to me was the Chiefs offensive line. They've had 4 starters go on IR this season. It looks like 3 of them in the last couple of weeks. They lost 2 tackles. They lost their center. It's going to be rough. That Tampa Bay defense has got some speed. Devin White is going to be all over the place if he's on the field. And I don't know. I think that Chiefs line really paid the price a couple weeks ago.
I think left tackle was one of the key positions where they lost one of their all-pro players. Of course, on the other side, the Tampa Bay defense, like you say, is banged up. Antoine Winfield, their safety, very key to the Tampa Bay defense. He may not play. You've got also, of course, Sean Murphy Bunting, their cornerback, who these aren't exactly household names, but they are very, very important players on the Tampa Bay defense. And if they're not there, Patrick Mahomes might end up, having a huge, huge game, and it might not even be close. So you can tell which way I'm looking in this game. But we'll get to that later on.
Hasn't Murphy Bunting had a pick in like all his playoff games so far? I mean, he wasn't a household name, but he sure is becoming one.
I think so, and by the time this game's over, he may still have one more chance to stand up and make his name known. Weather-wise, the forecasters are saying that it might rain. That could be a factor at this point in the season. And to follow up, what about the fact that Tampa Bay is actually playing the game in Tampa Bay? That's never happened. Is that an advantage? What do you think, Nick?
Well, with the rain, I mean, whatever weather that they're having in Tampa, it's nothing new to Tampa Bay and Kansas City. I'm pretty sure it was snowing there recently, so I'm sure they'd rather play in the rain than slippery snow. As far as the Bucs being being the first team to play Super Bowl in their home stadium, I mean, of course it would happen to Tom Brady. Of course it would happen in his 10th Super Bowl, and when he's 43, it's like the storybook ending. I think if he wins this,
Tom Brady,
he's going to retire.
That's amazing. It's his 10th Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl's been around 55 years. So the guy's been one of every 5 Super Bowls, something like that. I don't know. I'm not a mathematician, but that is pretty amazing. 43 years old too. He's also talking about playing even longer into past the age of 45. He thinks that mentally. He's
mentally. Yeah. I think mentally, yeah, he could handle it, but physically, I mean, he's a couple hits away from being Drew Brees. I don't care how healthy he eats.
We'll see about that. Some would argue that 45 is the new 35. So players will be lasting longer, and of course, yeah, like you say, one good hit, and that's really the end of that kind of talk. But we'll see there. He'll have to get past the game on Sunday before we talk about what he does after that. Now it's time for our Sports on the Spot question, where we will answer some of the questions that our viewers have been sending in. Today, we have a question from Haladala. He wants to know, do you think there will be any advantages here for Tom Brady playing the Super Bowl in his home stadium, or would that only be an advantage for him if he played with the Patriots?
It's really hard to say because you got the Patriots with Spygate and a bunch of other questionable things. Deflategate might have been a little more Tom Brady. I don't think there's going to be anything too suspicious. I think that would definitely come in Patriot territory. There'd probably be a lot of extra speculation. I haven't heard anything about suspicion regarding that yet. What about you, Willie?
To be honest, this is the first time I've even heard about this. I think that whole Deflategate, Spygate thing was really blown out of proportion. And me, I'm not a Patriot fan. I don't think that this is something that people should even be worried about. It's not going to be a factor in this year's Super Bowl. And now it's time for the Runny Rundown.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? Back at you for some Super Bowl picks. Sorry I couldn't make it last week. Had a few things to take care of. I can't really get into it. But let's just say, Vinny Valvucci, you're dead to me. All right, big game, Super Bowl, Mahomes, Brady, here we go. A little bit of a home field advantage for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I guess. I don't really know. They're saying it's not really home field advantage. I don't know. Bottom line is, Tom Brady. I've been on him. I've been against him. We're back on him. All right, we're going Brady. I'm taking Bucks +3. I'm taking Bucks money line to win the game. Right now, I got +150. So $100 bet. You win $150. I'm all over the Bucks. All right, it's not a lock, but I like it a lot. And Tom Brady's winning another one. It's that simple. So the Chiefs got a couple guys injured, I think. I don't really know what the Buccaneers injury report is, but it's a little tip for you, I will say. Tom Brady to win MVP. If you have odds on Tom Brady to win MVP that are better than the money line odds, now some books are offering it, some maybe aren't, but say the Buccaneers money line is +150 and Tom Brady to win MVP is +160, just take Tom Brady to win MVP +160 because it's essentially a bet on the Buccaneers money line, okay? My buddy Bobby Bonaduccio taught me this trick a while back. If the Bucks win, Brady's winning MVP. It's that simple. So you might as well just take the better odds on Brady to win the MVP. All right? That's a little pro tip for you. Good luck, everybody. Stay safe. And if anybody wants to buy a surfboard here, let me know. Fell off a truck. So it's for sale. Let me know.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for that, Ronnie. Let's spend some time now talking about our picks for this upcoming weekend and let the viewers know who we think are going to come out on top in the game. I think I'm going to start this one off because I've got some pretty strong beliefs about this game. The Chiefs are going to win, okay? Both teams are evenly matched. I understand that. Tom Brady, he's in the Hall of Fame, greatest of all time. Arians, he's a great coach, but I don't think that the Chiefs are going to lose this game, and I'll tell you why. It's going to come down to injuries. Right now, the Chiefs are getting healthy. They're getting Sammy Watkins back. He had a big game in the Super Bowl last year. He hasn't played in the playoffs yet. Him coming back is going to help their offense, as if they don't have enough offensive weapons. You also have, of course, the line that you mentioned. The guys that have filled in are doing a pretty good job. On the other hand, the Bucks are pretty banged up on defense. The key linebacker and safety, they may not even be in the game. If that happens for the Bucks, if their best players on D don't play, they don't have a chance. That's my view.
I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going with Tom Brady again. I think, this is it's just storybook greatness right here. I think, the stars have aligned. He's in this game. He beat Drew Brees. He beat Aaron Rodgers. He's going to beat Pat Mahomes. He's going to win this first Super Bowl at home as the home team in their home stadium. I mean, I might even put money on this game myself. I'm not too worried about the defensive players being out. I think that they're going to use Leonard Fournette to run the ball and keep the ball out of Pat Mahomes' hands. He was brought in for this reason. I think they eased him in to the role. They said, be humble, let your opportunity come. It's his time to shine. The LSU stud now coming into form in the Super Bowl here with Rojo hurt. I think they're going to have all their receivers. I think they have a better receiving core than the Chiefs. It really comes down to the quarterback, and there's not many I'd put against Pat Mahomes except the experience of Tom Brady. So I'm going Bucks on this one, and I'm just excited to see how it plays out.
Well, we'll find out. It's either going to be another Super Bowl win for Mahomes, his second, or if, of course, Brady wins this one with number 7. That's unbelievable. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in for this week's show. I wanted to remind everybody to subscribe and to comment, to like our show. Remember also that you can send in questions to Sports on the Spot. Sports on the Spot questions can be sent to the Sports on the Spot show at gmail.com. And who knows, your question may be chosen for us to answer on the show. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl and stay safe.
Unbelievable.